Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Marquisa, and I want to welcome you to Mental Health Mondays. If you haven't already, go ahead, subscribe, like, and comment, and we're going to get right into the video. This week, I would like to talk about depression and dibble into anxiety just a little bit. Can I tell you a secret about depression? You gotta promise you're not gonna tell anyone. Well, depression is a time stealer. If you're dealing with depression, then you know this secret already. It kind of makes you feel like you're moving in circles and stuck in a place and time and not really moving forward. That's a little secret I have about depression. Before I start, I want to read something I wrote. Life has really handed me more lemons than I wanted, but I can honestly say making lemonade has become joyful. I'm at a stage in my life where I can't dwell too long on any problems. I refuse to let any situation sit inside me for too long to harden my heart. Depression is real and it's easy to get in it without even knowing. While dealing with depression, feels like it sits still and you're stuck in a coma. Trust me when I tell you, you have to be intentional about how you feel. Self-care is important. Doing the things that make you happy are important. Letting light inside your room instead of making sure the blinds and shades are securing the darkness is imperative. You might have not created the storm, but you definitely have the choice to shine light into your atmosphere. So if you feel like you're getting lemons and don't like lemonade, change your thinking. It's the process of making the lemonade that saves you. I'll let that sink in, but don't sit still. Keep moving no matter what the situation is. So, I want to ask you, do you know what depression is? So, depression is a mood disorder that deals with your day-to-day activities, how you feel. It's a feeling that goes on for a long time that puts you in a dark place, and sometimes you feel worthless, you feel like you can't execute things, or you don't feel like you're good enough to execute things. And believe it or not, you may know somebody that's going through depression, but you have no clue that they're going through depression. But you know someone, is the point I'm making. So what does depression look like? It doesn't have a face. You can be a straight A student, you can be the best person at your job that executes stuff when you're at work, but when you get home and you're behind closed doors, it's a whole different person that doesn't hide anymore for the sake of other people. When you're outside in the open, you're just walking, doing what you have to do, but when you get home, that sense of worthless really attacks you, and it makes it harder to deal with day-to-day activities. Depression also makes you want to stay away from your friends, your family, your loved ones. It kind of makes you want to play hide and go seek without seeking. You just want to hide because you don't want no one to know what you're really going through. You're kind of scared to be asked how you're doing because you might just blurt out everything that you're feeling, and you don't know how someone will take it, how they'll look at you. Or maybe if you already told them 1 or 2 or 3 times, you probably are afraid that they're kind of going to be over it. But when somebody loves you and you're real friends, we want to hear from you. We want to know how you're doing. We want to know that you're getting better. And if you're not getting better, how we can help you get better. Now, when it comes to depression and anxiety, they really go hand in hand. A lot of times, you don't have depression without having anxiety. With an anxiety, it's like you're always on high alert. You still just don't feel good enough, like you don't feel capable enough. And I don't know if you've seen previous videos of mine, but when it comes down to when it's time for me to take a test, no matter how hard I study, no matter how well I prepare, I get into myself. My anxiety levels are so high that I sometimes mess up on the test. Like I second guess myself. Like I've been to my professor's office, looked at the exam, and literally watched myself erase over 10 questions that were correct after I answered the first time, but I second guessed myself. The anxiety, I am sweating profusely, like it's just, the sweat is bad and the room could be cold. But in my head, it's like this game of ping pong where it's like, you're good enough, you're not good enough, you're not gonna do it. Like, I want it so bad that I get in my own way. And so that's what anxiety can do to you also. And then you got to remember, with depression, you already don't feel like you're worthy of it. And in anxiety, you feel the same way, like you could want something so bad that you get in your own way. And so therefore it interrupts your life. Trust and believe that disorder is bigger than just like, you know what, I can self-help myself sometimes. Because sometimes you don't. You might need to go to therapy. You might need an antidepressant drug. You know, there's other things out there that science researchers have figured out to help you. Like, you're not crazy, you're not worthless, you're not helpless. Like, you can get the help that you need to move forward. So, Mom, what are some signs of depression? Restlessness, fight or flight, helplessness or hopelessness, worry all the time, oversensitive. That's 5 signs of depression and anxiety, believe it or not. What are some ways you can deal with depression or anxiety? I want to do a little exercise with you guys. So I want you to take a deep breath. Take another deep breath. I want you to take one more deep breath. Now, if you did that with me, do you notice a difference? If your heart was racing, we just calmed it down. Because my heart was just going a regular pace, but I feel so calm now. It took me from, like, when you're at that high, bring you down low. Deep breaths is one way that you can deal with what you're going through with depression or anxiety. Another thing that you could do, you could work out. Because when you're working out, you have natural endorphins that are released. So that's a benefit with working out. You could practice the art of mindfulness, you know, when you're mindful to what you're doing. Then you can also do yoga, because yoga is also really good to help. With yoga, it helps control your thought. I've done yoga myself. If you're religious, prayer, you know, but sometimes prayer isn't enough. Seeking a therapist, you know, there's support groups. If you just go into your Google search, you can find a support group that you could go to once a week, once a month, and you get to actually be around people that are going through the same thing, and you guys can talk, help each other cope, and give each other ways to get through it. So there's great resources online. Like I said, seek a therapist, get a life coach. There's ways that you can get through this. There's medicine out here, you know, go to a doctor. I can't stress enough, if your leg broke, it's almost instant. If you break something, even when you stub a toe and it hurts really bad, your natural response is to go to the hospital. You got to get it fixed. If you need a cast, whatever it is. So your natural response to when the thoughts just aren't aligning right should be to seek a therapist. Seek a doctor that is focused on the mind, the brain. Because when you deal with depression or anxiety, believe it or not, you get a stomach ache. You just don't feel good. You might be dealing with headaches. And, you know, you go to the hospital, they can run all these tests, and guess what? Nothing comes back, because it's the mind. It's the mind that's really going through something, and you just have to figure out how to work it out. Honestly, it's just time that we start addressing mental health issues and providing resources, tips, self-help tips, numbers, just avenues for you to get the proper help that's needed. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, leave a comment. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you would like to talk about, because on Mondays, you can expect Mental Health Mondays. Wednesdays are Workout Wednesdays, and Fridays we'll have Fun Friday, where you just get a fun video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.